Hello and welcome to another episode of Sports Talk. We're here at the Cable 8 Studios, and today we're going to have a nice basketball conversation with the ladies basketball team, and I'd like to welcome the ladies here. Opposite me is Coach Lisa Downs, and the three captains from right to left, Catherine Cat Tamaleonis, Caroline Rathjeb, and Kirsten Warner. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you.
Finished strong last year, had a great time, big time, and we have big prospects, I understand, for this year.
Yeah, absolutely. We exceeded our expectations a little bit toward the end of the season, but it was just a culmination of a lot of effort that the team put in at the tail end of the season, and it's just exciting for all those girls to see how far you can get with the amount of talent that we had. And this year, we won't accept anything other than getting to at least as far as we got last year. It's contagious. Winning is just something that once you get a taste of it, you don't want to ever settle for anything less than that.
The essence of the write-up and the reporter, very intense squad, running squad because of your physically, vertically challenged comment. So we just power the legs and try to run the other team off the court?
Yeah, we have a very deep team. The bench is much deeper this year than it actually was last year. And on that team, there's a lot of speed. So that's definitely one of the things that will negate height. So we're looking to get that quick outlet pass, get the ball down the court, and we're going to have 5 girls down there, hopefully beating the majority of the other team, every opponent that we face.
You'll have the numbers.
We will.
And you said deep, so everybody same style. We're going to run.
Yep.
And you can use frequent substitutions to keep the girls refreshed.
Yeah, I want to keep some fresh legs on there at all times, and everybody has a role on the team. Whether that just be getting that that quick outlet pass off the rebound, or being the one getting up the court looking for the staying wide and making sure that we are able to either find that flash cutter that's trailing, or just be a heads up all around player.
Having most of your personnel back, you have the advantage of everybody knows how the other person plays.
Yep.
You're going to inject several freshmen into the squad this year as well.
Yeah, we are. And they played together basically all summer long, so they're not unfamiliar with each other in terms of what their strengths and weaknesses are. And this team just seems to gel very well together, and that they know, if I have the ball and I'm bringing it up the court, I know I'm going to have my other 2 guards in the court are going to be up ahead of me, one on the left and one on the right, and they're very confident with each other on the court, which is definitely shown already in practice.
You have, I lost my question. You have the benefit of experience, and you've set a style for the personnel that you've got. They all know where they're going. To date, now you've had a couple of scrimmages and a little tournament that you played in, and those seem to have been successful.
They were, and I know that we still have a lot of work to do, but we're coming up on the season opener on Tuesday, so we got to just fine-tune a few things, and I think we're going to be in good shape.
There's, you must have seen yourself over the course of last year some huge personal growth in all of these ladies, and obviously their leadership skills have come forward, and these are your captains, and they're going to run the show for you this year.
They are, and you can definitely tell that they're seniors, so they're very confident with what they bring to the table, and they know that they're role models to the younger girls, especially the freshmen who have been looking up to them for the last few years, seeing what they've been able to do at the high school so far. But confidence is just one thing that it's just, you can see it on the sideline, you can see it on the floor, you can see it during practices, and even when they're off the basketball court, just doing things as a team, everyone looks to them, and they're great captains.
Kat, do you see that role model role as a burden, or does it energize you?
Oh no, it definitely energizes us. I think that it kind of gives us motivation to be better and always be a role model to the younger kids.
And Caroline, middle lady, for most of the game. I understand we have one sub, Mackenzie Anderson, is your backup at center forward kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do we not play a standard 5-man center, 2 forwards? We kind of give ourselves some wiggle room to move around on the court to make that fast game happen.
Yeah, I think we all have like versatile positions and we can all play different positions, but me and Mackenzie usually try and get the rebounds and then outlet to anyone else, and then they get it down the court.
So your prime role is
Rebound.
grab a rebound,
Yeah.
find an outlet, and get the fast break started.
Yeah.
And Kat, you're the starting point guard, is that, or do we have
That would
point
be
guard
Kirsten
option?
over there.
Kirsten.
Yep.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh, okay. Why did I have, so we got point guard and shooting guard.
Yeah.
Okay, I wrote it down backwards. So you have a key role
Yeah.
in moving that ball, outpacing your opponent, finding open people.
Yeah, I'm more about like passing than scoring for myself. I like the assists.
Do the Rajon Rondo thing.
Yeah.
How was Wayland and Dighton Rehoboth as opponents in the scrimmages that you've had so far?
I think our Wayland scrimmage was good for us because they were very loud and like up in our faces. So it was a good like start to what we're going to see during the season.
Big team, big school, city kind of school.
Yeah.
And again, it's not like Coach Martinelli can put 50 guys on the sideline for intimidation purposes. There's 12 of you.
Yeah.
And they have 12 people, so it's, did they have height on you, either or both teams?
No, they didn't really, but
It's probably not going to be
Yeah.
very typical for what we're going to see this
Yeah.
season. Most of the Hockomock teams have at least one, maybe more than that, of
Yeah.
girls that are larger and just take up more space on the court than we have.
Okay, so what do we know about Attleboro so far, Kirsten?
They have a couple new girls, apparently 2 new freshmen starting that played for coach in AAU, and then a few returners. One of them's a really versatile player. She can shoot and post up, so it'll be interesting. But
And when you guys are playing off-season, Cat, do you run into a lot of the same girls that you play against during the season?
Yeah.
Okay, so you get to know, you have an extended period to get to know your opposition. You've seen them outside the Hawk.
Yeah, I think we know for the most part like what we're going to be matching up against. But
So do you find that to be an advantage?
yeah,
Given opportunity, you're sitting on the bench, you see the weakness in their game while you're sitting,
yeah,
and exploit it when you're not sitting. You have the benefit of this AAU thing has just blossomed into something, feeder program, a practice program for you guys when you're not on the high school squad. Do you find it to be a real benefit in the facilities that we have around here to play ball when you're not during the school year?
yeah, there's always a place to practice.
Yeah, you don't have to freeze outdoor shooting at the hoop. So we're going to open Attleboro, Canton, Taunton, Sharon. We got the big school, small school thing going
Yes.
here. So
Yep.
Attleboro's on the big side,
Yep.
and the other 3 are all small schools.
Taunton's also on the big side.
They're a large school
Yeah.
as well. So
Yeah.
two and two. We're going to find out quickly where we fit.
Yes. And we lost to Attleboro last year, so that's just one of those, the games. I'm happy to start off against them at their school because, it's always a competitive game. I think we are just a little bit more of an up-tempo team than they are this year, but it's just who comes to play that night.
And I can tell we're energized for that challenge coming off the tournament victories. And okay, we lost to them last year. We're going to go back and get them. Christmas break, you're going to play in a Wareham tournament?
Yes.
Who's the competition in that tournament?
So
do you
we'll
know?
face Sandwich the first game, and then more likely than not, the winner of the Wareham New Bedford game. So that's the 4 of us. that are in that tournament.
Okay, so Wareham and Sandwich are kind of small, New Bedford's big school.
So we'll play Sandwich, which we really don't. I'll see some film on them, maybe get a chance to see them one time, but other than that, we're pretty unfamiliar with them. But it's kind of nice to play someone that you don't see every year. So I try to add a new team into our schedule that we otherwise wouldn't have faced.
Well, it's the opportunity to see some people that you may see again in the tournament, and they can't throw a curveball at you
Right.
with little or no prep time.
Right.
I should mention that, Lisa's assistants are Brian Brown, Erin Healy-Botello, and Ellie Petrovich, long-term member. They bring a lot to the table for you, Coach.
They do, and they're just people I can rely on to run their programs very well, so that when they at some point get back up to me, I know that they know the fundamentals of what we're trying to do with the program. And we also have Jen Valenti, who's a coach at our Megan program, which is the middle school. She's a former college player, so she's another one that we've added in the last couple of years. So she's definitely, gets them ready in 8th grade to, see what they're going to be responsible for knowing once they get to the high school. So it's a good group.
And as these ladies are role models, you and your people, I know of you when you played in the program, and Ellie Petrovich has been with us for years. I've known her well, and she just loves the kids and loves whatever she's doing when she's doing it.
Yeah, we've tried to get more involved with the youth program too in the last few years, which I think is very beneficial. We reach out to them, do some clinics in our preseason, and then we invite them to come to all of our home games, and we'd have a little scrimmage at halftime. Then, we invite them to watch us and ask us questions, and I'll sit with the coaches and. It's more of them getting to see these girls as if they're WNBA players and just feeling, this competitiveness that they can see that we have, and it kind of generates them to get, more involved with basketball at the youth program, which is vital if I'm going to have a good program up the high school.
It has proven very, very successful when you've got a feeder program to interact with them generously. And I know you run a program where if they wear their uniform, they can come in for free or something. That's always a good thing. So it works both ways. They get to see you ladies doing your thing. They get to see you whenever these clinics run. I would guess you guys are some of the instructors that work with them. So it puts them in a position where they want to be you someday. And you can't put a price on it. It's just so valuable to the program to teach the kids young to love a sport, your sport. And some of you are multi-sport athletes, and you probably make the same kind of contribution in the other programs that you're involved in. Speaking of which, you're all seniors. Kat, what's on the table for colleges, playing in college?
I'm going to Merrimack, and I'm going to be playing basketball and doing track.
Oh, you signed the letter.
Yeah.
You signed the letter of intent. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you and Merrimack's going to get at least a 2-sport athlete for the price of 1. That's not a bad scholarship
Yeah.
for them. That's excellent. Caroline, what do you got on the table for going forward?
I'm looking to major in nursing, so depending on what school I go to.
Outstanding profession.
Yeah.
And you haven't picked a school yet.
No.
Other sports, you are a year-round basketball player.
Yeah. No other sports.
And Kirsten?
I want to major in physical therapy, so I don't know where I'm going yet, and it depends on the school if I want to play a club sport or not. So.
Whatever your plate can handle.
Yeah, I guess.
But that's another noble profession, great idea. You could get into sports training and that kind of stuff. Just a huge open area. They continue to add staff from the professional teams all the way down.
Yeah.
And I've seen people get to very nice college positions with that kind of a thing if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, the need on the youthful end, the handicapped end, geriatric end, there's just so many positions, very growing field. you know, it's smart for you ladies to be choosing something that's going to put you into a field with job openings, and instead of a lot of college kids who don't quite have their mindset and come out with an empty job market and have to fight like heck to get a job in their field. Your depth, can you comment on some of the other players, Coach, for the depth that you have?
This year, we definitely have more offensive threats on the court, so which is going to open up a lot more things for Kat. Kat, you know, in the past has kind of been the girl that they kind of focus their energy on, putting their,
She draws a double team.
Yeah, so it was difficult for her. That was an adjustment as a sophomore, and then to come into junior year last year, to having all this attention and focus on her was probably difficult, and it probably limited her points somewhat in some games. But this year, they can't focus on just one of our players. We, in addition to Kirsten and Caroline, have Cassidy Harrison, who's got a very nice outside shot. She serves more as a forward to us, but she's versatile in that she has a great outside shot as well. And Kristen Bortolatti, who is just a phenomenal player. She just brings not only her speed, but her court IQ. I mean, Kirsten sees the floor so well, and Kristen just complements that, and that she's able to get the ball up to the court. And if Kat's not an option, Kristen's there as well. But then off the bench, we have Siobhan Nolan, who has improved phenomenally since last year. She's always been very quick, and but she was more anxious last year to get rid of the ball because she was just 100 miles an hour all the time. And it seems that she slowed down her game. And again, the confidence in being a senior, I think, has really pushed her to the next level. And I think she's going to be a really big contributor this year. Carolyn Will is another 4 or 5 that can step into Caroline's spot. And she's also a soccer player, so she's got that toughness about her. So they are going to be challenged to guard girls that are, much taller and just take up more space in the court than they have. And both her and Carolyn do that very well. And Carolyn's also got a nice, 8 to 10 foot jumper, so she's, a hard person to match up against as well. Mackenzie Anderson that you had mentioned, another. She just gives 100% every single time that she's on that court, and she's now, I think, realizing that her role on the court is her rebounding and her ball distribution to the open players, and she's doing very well with that. And then we have the new girls that we added to the team. Lauren Flayhives is a sophomore, very athletic, fast. She's already improved just in 2 weeks. The amount of things that we've seen her pushing herself to do and just fine-tuning things has been great. And we have 3 unbelievable freshmen that well-deserved placement on varsity. Kat's younger sister, Grace, being one of them. So she's been, I think, on our AAU teams more of a 3, kind of an outside guard, but because she's 5'9" or 5'10", she'll be forced to play more of a 4 or 5, and she's another scoring threat from the outside as well, so she'll be a difficult matchup. And then we have 2 guards, Ashley Sampson and Lily Sykes, who both just very tough players out there. Ashley Sampson's she's more of a finesse type player that she sees the court well. She's like Kirsten and wants to distribute that ball a little bit, more often than she should sometimes, but she's still a freshman and she just does things very well. And Lily Sykes is just a bulldog out there that she has no fear, and she doesn't play like a freshman. So when you add all those
also
things,
a tough soccer player.
Yes. When you add all those girls all together on one bench, it's a wonderful thing for me to look down the bench and not, even hesitate to put any of them on the court.
So the freshmen are contributors. So in the early going, Kat, if you still draw the attention, your focus is going to be to find the person that isn't covered.
Yeah.
So you got to change your focus a little bit until we ratchet up the shooting from your other contributors, and that's going to give you some free space and maybe some more opportunities to drive the basket, score some points.
Yeah.
But we have to introduce them to the rest of the cast, and they say, "Oh, jeepers, they can shoot too."
Yeah.
And it's almost like football. The faster you can throw them out of their game plan, the easier it is for you to execute yours, kind of thing. And we got 2 rebounders and a third in the wings.
Yep.
You have a tremendous number of freshmen, so your JV and freshman teams are going to be well populated.
Yep. We have a very big JV team, and next year when I unfortunately lose these girls plus Siobhan, that means that's at least 4 openings. So they're going to have to really work on their games in the next 4 months, and and then in the off season, and it'll be a fight to see who gets those spots next year.
Were the 3 seniors that you lost over the winter, were they starters as well?
Yep, 2 of them were.
Okay, so you ladies have had plenty of playing time because of the style of play. It's not like you're just coming into your own plan, what do we do now? So you're very well spread for classes and moving people up the ladder, and having 3 people able to participate at the varsity level as freshmen is just going to keep that kind of trend going for you, Coach. We've established your style. Your style is going to be run.
Mm-hmm.
What happens in a set offense, ladies, if you get stuck in that with somebody who wants to play slow down?
No, like we'll just slow it down. We have a bunch of plays that we can run. We can change it up. I mean, we can play fast. We can slow it down if we need to. Either way. And
I understand 2 or 3 of you were mentioned as serious defensive cogs that you gotta get the stop, and you gotta force them into a bad situation before you can get a rebound.
Yeah, we definitely are all about defense. So defense will win us the game, and then the offense will usually just come to us if we just move it quickly around and then get it in and out. It usually works.
Well, you've had the opportunities to, where your people are going to be breaking to, where the outlet pass has to go.
Yeah.
So you have some repetition, and even in the off season, of knowing whether when you play off season, are you playing with some of your teammates or strangers?
In the off seasons, I usually play with other girls in the Hawk, and so it usually comes to an advantage because I know how they play.
Okay. Based on last year, besides you, who's the team to beat, Kat? Small school. Small school.
Small school. I don't know. I think maybe Stoughton.
Oliver Ames.
Oliver Ames. Yeah, that'll be a tough matchup, but.
And on the big school side, who is looking like a favorite?
Probably Attleboro.
Franklin.
Oh, Franklin. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, Franklin.
Franklin's come back. Is KP still in the mix?
Yeah,
Yeah.
their coach does a
They're
great
good.
job with them. So they're always scrappy. They graduated, I think, most of their players last year, but they had a deep bench last year too.
Attleboro style, are they big and slow, or?
I think they're all the same size, so they don't really.
Okay,
They're
so
just
there's
medium.
not a height advantage there. They're just a large school, and they have a deeper population to select the 12 people you're going to play against.
Yeah.
And Mansfield's always another tough one. Mike Redding gets them, very prepared for the season. And this year they have a big girl, it's about 6'1", freshman that's on the team. So they're going to have more of an inside-out game than they were able to do last year. And they have a good outside shooter that's returning. So the big schools are always tough, but not tougher than us.
It appears that you have the confidence that you've got enough shooters that somewhere in that 10-foot circle, you got some people that aren't afraid to put the ball up and be pretty sure of scoring.
Yeah, they definitely have more confidence with their shot, and Kat definitely more so than last year. She needs to know when to control the game tempo and when to take charge out there, and she's stepped right into that role this year. So, and I think that, like you had mentioned, she's all set with where she's going to college next year. Doesn't have to be showing off for any scouts, game in and game out. So that stress is removed. So, yes. Yeah, so.
That's excellent. Kat, are there opportunities to go to the inside when you draw them out and they can't? They're trying to cover the perimeter. Once they know you've got some shooters besides you, does that open up some opportunities for inside game?
Yeah, I think once, like she said, everyone can shoot. So I think once that we start hitting our outside shots, then that'll open up the middle, and we'll be good.
So But we need to establish some other shooters besides you from the outside. And once they have to learn to reckon with that, it'll open up some opportunities for you and your partners inside to score some points. How's the points to rebounds thing for you in the past?
Last year, I think I was more of a defender than I didn't really have like a big offensive game. But I think this year it should be better because we have all those shooters, so they can get it into me more probably.
So your mix is such that with Kat and whoever else, Kirsten as the point guard, finding the opportunities to draw the defense out and open up that middle for you and your partners inside.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's going to be fun. And I should say to the public on your behalf how elated you all were, coach right down through the team, of how they came out and supported you last year in the tournament. It was very energizing for you, and you look forward to keeping that going. The youth basketball players coming, the parents coming, and continuing to energize the program. There's a lot of programs, including yours, that are going in a great direction. Soccer programs had a good season. Football had a good season in the fall. How was, were you in track this fall?
It's in the spring.
Okay, so you do spring track.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's a lot of programs. It seems like even though you're the smallest enrollment in the Hawk, the screw is turning, and programs are growing and getting better and getting a little more press. It's a whole good thing for the community. And your essence in accepting the challenge to be role models for younger people who are playing the sport and who are just doing anything, looking up to you and accepting and embracing that role, it's just another tribute to your leadership skills. So we wish you well. Attleboro is 16th,
Yep, Tuesday.
Tuesday, season opens in the Hawk. Any tough competition outside the Hawk for you that you've put on the schedule?
Toward the end of the season, we host a tournament, and that's always, on purpose, put us against some stiff competition in the hopes that we'll be entering the tournament the following week. So this year we'll open that one against Ursuline, who's very good, and then we'll most likely face Hopkinton, who beat us last year in our own tournament. So that will be a game that we'll be looking to win.
We will rise to that challenge.
Yes, absolutely.
Once again. All right. Well, listen, ladies, I'm so happy to have you here. I'm so excited about the season to come. Coach, best of luck to you and all the girls.
Thank you.
And we'll be watching. And we're going to have fun watching. And if winning begets winning, you guys are on the right track.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you all for watching. And this is Dick Kelter saying thank you from SportsTalk, Foxborough Cable 8. Thank you and good night.